Got it. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning here in southwestern Nevada, not far from the California border. And this is G.school. So Department of Career Services, G.school. So what do? We help our students on their journey through life to have the best possible journey through life. How do we do that? Well, we do it two ways. One is through the worksheet. The most important thing is the worksheet down below, or on the website, or in LinkedIn. It's the worksheet that has the experts. The second thing is the podcast. And the benefit of the podcast is routine. Routine. Okay, that was interesting. Is creating, I wonder if we can cut out the rolling. The second thing is the podcast. So the podcast is about creating a routine, daily routine. And then repetition, which creates a habit. And our goal is simply to help our students create better habits. Boom, that's it. That's all you have to do. Create better habits through repetition of a routine. And the routine is watching the podcast every day. And the routine should also be to share it with one other person. And it's not because of the quality of the podcast. The quality is not what it's about. It's about the doing, and it's about the worksheet. And good morning, Wada-Bevy, Bliss, Star, Bar, whatever. Good morning. How was work yesterday? So today's meme, today's idea that spreads from brain to brain is a mustard seed of faith, ? 10 sales. Wow. You're raking in the bucks. You're raking in the bucks, baby. Show me the money. Okay. So a mustard seed of faith. All right. Now, disclaimer about G.school. Okay, G.school is not for believers. G.school is for non-believers. If you're a believer, you feel you're already saved. Or maybe you approach your salvation with fear and trembling, like if you're a Catholic. But maybe you're a Protestant and you follow Romans 10:9 and you're saved. Romans 10:9 and 1 John 1:9 and you're saved. Boom, I don't need to worry about it. I'm a sinner. I'm going to always sin. All I have to do is ask for forgiveness for my sins. Okay, cool, great. So I'm not disputing that. I'm saying if you are already saved, this G.school is not designed for you. You certainly are welcome. You are, of course, welcome, but it's not for you. So why should you watch it? Well, you should watch it because you get an idea of what other people, or people not you, how they think or what they might think. So it might strengthen your own faith. Now, of course, you can just say, no, my version is correct. Your version is not correct. You aren't saved because you don't believe what I believe. You, of course, can do that. That's perfectly okay. But that's partially why our goal is the non-believers. The non-believers, the people that all we're trying to do is plant a mustard seed. Bonk, bonk. Plant a mustard seed of faith. We're not trying to take it from how to earn more crowns in heaven. We don't want to go from you're already saved. Now the goal is get as many crowns as you can. Why live homelessly in heaven when you can live in the greatest, biggest mansion there ever was? Why do that? So that's not our purpose. Our purpose is planting the mustard seed and nurturing it so that it will take root and then grow and flourish and become one of the biggest things that there is. So that's our goal here. It's for the non-believers. And the starting point for non-believers is ultimately, it gets back to you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice because there's no absolute evidence either way, but I would say the preponderance of the evidence is that the universe was created by an intelligent creator. Okay, there's no evidence one way or another, but you have to choose what you want to believe. And we are, as Sartre would say, we are condemned to choose. We have no choice. We have to choose which way. And our choice can just be by our behavior, by our actions. In fact, that's actually probably a better indication of choice than somebody saying, I believe, but then they don't act like they believe. So do they actually believe? If they act like they don't believe, then they just say they believe. Anyway, so the ultimate question you have to answer, what your faith, your belief is based upon, or the starting point. The ultimate starting point is, was the universe created, or somehow did it create itself? Was it created, or did it create itself? And ultimate argument against it created itself is that nothing can come from nothing, or only nothing can come from nothing. Something cannot come from nothing. So you can't have nothing and then all of a sudden you have something without something else acting upon it. And so the idea is the universe was created, and if you believe the universe was created, now the second question you have to ask yourself is, if the universe was created, is there any benefit for us of being in that universe? Now, the standard Christian model would be, well, we're going to assume it was created, and we're going to assume that it was created for us, that the universe was created for us, but we're not going there. We're just saying, if it was created, was it created such that we would benefit from it? And I think you could say, yeah. Why? Because we're here. Okay, so we benefit by being here as opposed to not here. All right? So, but let's go back again to the starting point. Ultimately, you have to believe, was the universe created or not? Was it created by an intelligent creator or not? Yes. And if you believe that is the case, the next question would be, do you believe that you have a transcendent soul? Does your soul continue after death? So we don't have hard facts on these. These things come down to your personal belief. Good. We have a transcendent soul. Wadabevi says, yes, we do have a transcendent soul. Okay. Now, we don't have actual proof either way, but it seems that the preponderance of the evidence is that we do have a transcendent soul, and that's because of what? It's because of what they are now calling REDs, real experiences after death, or what they used to call near-death experiences. But these are things that occur after you are clinically dead, when you have no brain, no neural activity, and then you're brought back to life, and you can talk about things that occurred during a period of time when you had no brain waves, no neural activity. So it appears likely, or more likely than not, that we have a transcendent soul. So if the universe was created by a creator who appears to have been benevolent because we are here, and you have a transcendent soul, is it hard to connect the two things to say, perhaps when we die, different things occur based upon how we lived? So that would be a third belief you'd have. I choose to believe that the universe was created by a creator who was benevolent, I choose to believe that I have a transcendent soul, and I choose to believe that based upon my actions while I am alive, the results will become, different results will occur after I'm dead. Okay, so now it comes to, well, how should I act? And then you could ask the question, would it make sense that this benevolent creator would want us to know how to act, that he would send messages one way or another? So we're told, here's what you need to do if you want to have the best possible experience after this life. And we can say, yes, that would make sense, that the creator who wanted us to experience something better after this life would want us to know what we were supposed to do. And one way to do that would be to have people help us do that. What kind of people? Well, they could be like prophets, or they could be like the Buddha. They could just be enlightened people. They could be like Mother Teresa. They could be, well, like any enlightened person. And I would say, if you then look at those enlightened persons, ultimately, fundamentally, they have the same message: do good, avoid evil. Things related to do good, avoid evil. Now, would it be possible that a creator, this would be another belief, would it be possible that a creator might want to actually experience being human? Aha, the Jesus story. Right. Would it be possible that the creator could say, I want to see what it's like to be human, actually be human? Yeah, that makes sense, right? Especially if that person claiming to be the creator was trying to show people how to be, right? Jesus, love God with all thy heart, mind, and soul. Love one another as I have loved you. If you do that, you will be one with the Father and I. Boom, that's all you have to do. John 3:16, God sent his Son, blah, blah, blah. So those who believe in him will have everlasting life. Okay, what does he say to do? Number one, love God with all thy heart, mind, and soul. Love thy neighbor as I have loved you. Okay. Is there any evidence to show that Jesus was the creator? Yes. Birth, death, resurrection. Number one. If you understand anything about Jesus, if you take a class like I did in Christology from a good school, you will get that before Jesus's baptism, there's only one place that said anything positive about it. And there are a couple places that indicated he was nobody special. Is this the woodworker from Nazareth? Is this Mary's son? Where is he getting these ideas? Or his family thinking he'd gone crazy. We need to get our son. We need to take him away because he's gone crazy. Two indications that, one, he was nobody before the baptism, before he started talking about his message, and that his own family, when he's delivering his message, the Jesus movement, when he's doing that, his own family thinks he's gone crazy. Birth. And then once he challenges the Pharisees, the established system, the law, once he does that quickly, he's killed, but comes back. 3 days later, comes back. And why do we think that's true? Well, because this whole movement really took off after his resurrection. And it was the resurrection that made it real, not the message, because the message has been corrupted. Okay, so one reason to believe Jesus was who he said he was is because of what happened after he was crucified. But the second thing that's more tangible for us is the Shroud of Turin. And if that is a supernatural relic, then I think we have every reason to have a mustard seed of faith, and we can say, you know what? I don't have anything to lose by believing the universe was created by an intelligent creator who was benevolent, who gave us created us with a transcendent soul, who sent other people to help us learn what we need to do to experience a better existence after we leave this place, our transcendent soul, and that Jesus was the creator incarnate. That versus we're just atoms in the void. Because if we're just atoms in the void, then there's no reason to do anything. Nothing really matters, right? Just do this because you don't want the consequences of doing that. But otherwise, la vida loca, baby. La vida loca. Hedonism, right. Well, it would be hedonism to the extent of you remove the, as long as I'm going to do what makes me feel good, as long as it doesn't hurt other people, injure other people, infringe on their rights, remove that out there. Yeah, more like nihilism. Like, it doesn't really matter. I can do anything I want to do because we're just atoms in the void. So ultimately, it comes down to a choice of that. Are we just atoms in the void? Or do we have a transcendent soul? And the Creator is giving us instructions. If you want to go to the best place, if you want to be with us, here's what you need to do. And if you accept that, then it's not really hard to accept suffering, right? Because what difference does it make? 100 years of suffering, pain, dying of starvation as a kid, being hit by a truck, it doesn't really matter, because even if you live to be 100 years, that is the width of a hair on our head compared to how long the universe has already existed, 7.84 miles. So on the scale of our life, if the length of our life is equal to the width of a hair on our head, the age of the universe so far is 7.84 miles. And that's just a nothing to infinity. 13.8 billion is a very small number compared to, say, a Googleplex, right? Okay, but we're 18 minutes and 25 seconds into it right now. The idea is to have a mustard seed of faith, which is just to say, you know what? I think I'm going to choose to believe the universe was created by a benevolent creator, and that I have a transcendent soul. And that based upon how I live this life, my next place, where I go when I die, where my soul goes next, where my soul goes next is dependent upon how I live here. And that there are instructions people have come to help me learn how to live here. Buddha, there's been a lot of people, it's not just one, there's been a lot of people who say, do good, avoid evil. And if I can do good and avoid evil, I can expect that when I die, my soul will transcend to someplace else. That will be even better. In fact, it's so good, I'm not even going to come back to tell people what they're missing, because it doesn't matter. Or as Charlene would say, it just doesn't matter. But we're at 1931 in. Mustard seed of faith, people. Ask yourself the questions. Do I believe the universe was created by a benevolent creator? And do I have a transcendent soul? And what if the creator became incarnate And if the Creator did become incarnate and he said, here's all you need to do, is there any reason I shouldn't do it? Okay, let's end it at that. And Avita Zane, Wadabevi, what's your schedule for today? Send me a text if I can call you.